I did tell a video on my channel about a CO that put somebody in the room with me, a Spanish dude, and you know, he was slinging me dip for it and everything else. It was weird, man. I will say this, why, you know, we're on your channel right quick. Confinement, to me, I think is complete. I think they need to figure something else out. I really do think it'll affect your brain, especially in Florida, especially how dirty it is, the conditions and how they do people back there. Confinement is like a no-go for me and just about everybody else that's been back there. Being said that, you know, when you really do things in prison, you know, they have camps, you know, CM camps. Did your family ever tell you about them?
Yes.
Man, they really need to figure that out, because that I think will mess people up. I think that you know, just imagine getting CM'd and you have 3 years left. You're in this room for 3 years, man. There's not a lot of people I've ever met that are that strong. You know, I've never been locked up with a lot of people. The only person I know to ever be that strong is, I watched The Hurricane the other night. You ever see that movie, The Boxer?
Yes.
That was his life story. I don't know how he did it. I mean, he wasn't in confinement, but the dude never left the cell. Right. That's a freaking real strong mind, man. I think they need to figure something else out for confinement, man. Yeah, he did put somebody in my cell for me to smash. It wasn't a child molester though. It was a different dude, and I did it, and I instantly regretted it. And then, so I've told this story, so I'll speak on it a little more. After it happened, he gave me, you know, he slid me dip, he slid me trays, and it happened. And he didn't spray me; he sprayed the other guy. But I went into instant paranoia about what I'm speaking of right now. You're in a room by yourself. So I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, I wasn't CM'd. I was just in confinement. I had to get back out to the compound, and I don't know if this dude's waiting for me, gonna stab me up. You know, if people are gonna think I'm working for the police, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? And so sure, I got super paranoid back there. Man, it'll mess your head up, man. I really think that, you know, not only Florida, but every state, they got to figure something else out than confinement. It's a tricky subject, man. I have Googled about this. I have looked into this myself. You know, what else do you do with, you know, inmates when, you know, they're being violent or they break the rules or whatever? Where do you put them? How do you isolate them? But, you know, that will mess people's head up, man. I stand behind that one, you know, really will.
Let me go back to the guard situation as we close on this part one. What would have happened if you told that guard, no, I'm not doing that? Would he have played with your food? What would have happened?
Yeah. Well, he kind of finessed me, man. I'm not gonna lie. A different type of finesse. We talked in the beginning of the interview about, you asked me if any black dudes have tried to finesse me or whatever else. You know, it's one thing to stand up to an inmate, right? Especially if you want to prove something or whatever, and then there's a politics behind, is he gang related, is he not gang related? So there's decisions there, but when a CO presses you, it's tough, because yeah, man, they give you a ghost tray. They'll slide a ghost tray in there. So there's cameras back in confinement, CM. You know, there's cameras, because people will file lawsuits, man. They're really good with the pen and paper. You know, people have sued, you know, the state and stuff like that. So at some point they put camera system back there, and, you know, anytime they spray an inmate with Black Jesus, it's got to be video recorded. Feeding time has to be video recorded. You know, everybody knows the tray thing that they push, the brown or gray trays, they slide the door flap. So on camera, that flap comes open, the camera showing him slide a tray in there. You're good. You're good. Now it's on camera, right? But when I get the tray, there's nothing on it. I beat on the door. Hey, there's nothing here. Shut up, inmate. It's on camera. Gave you a tray. You're dead. You're dead. So he, and not just that. Before he put the dude in the room, before I even knew the dude was going to go in my room, he was doubling up my trays, tripling up my trays. Can I dip up under the door? Where's my dip at? I dip to this day. Oh, my can went, but here's one. He slides, a couple of dips. So he kind of, he finessed me. It's the old saying, ain't nothing for free. I didn't know what he wanted. So, then he asked me, at this point, I kind of owe him. And I could tell him F you or F off or everything else, but it's not just that simple because I'd be getting ghost trays. He's already did what he did for me. And every time I got into confinement, another thing that's dirty back there, every time I'm going to use fighting for an example. If you get caught strapping, it's a 30-day DR.